this is Melanie. Have you ever wanted a rose garden but just thought, well, it's just too complicated? Well, it's not. It's actually really easy. To plant a rose garden, you just have to know where to plant your garden, how to plant your roses, and then how to protect them from the elements. So let's start with where to create your rose garden. You want a lot of space. Start small with only a few roses, but give yourself room to spread out as you become more comfortable with how to care for them. You want to have your rose garden so it gets good sunlight in the morning and the afternoon. A little shade also helps when it gets super hot, as it does here in the south. You also want to be close to your garden hose, and I'll come back to why about that in a minute. Now we've decided where to plant our roses. How do we plant them? You need to dig the perfect hole. Now this hole is going to be a little bit bigger than the container that your roses come in. A little bit deeper than they come in as well. You're going to want to take your planting mix, your cow manure, and your fertilizer and mix them together. That's going to be the dirt that you put back in the hole with your rose. Now the last thing on planting a rose is make sure that the crown is above the ground. The crown is that knob where all your stalks are coming out of. You want that above the ground. After you get her in the ground, stomp around the rose in a circle. That gets all the air out. The last thing is make a moat with your hand around the top, around the crown. Whew, that was the hard part. So are we done yet? Not quite. The next thing you need to do is protect your rose from the elements. You want to lay down ground cloth. This ground cloth will cover your entire rose bed, and you'll use little stakes to pin it into the ground. After you get your ground cover down, you want to put down your big pine bark nuggets. Not the shredded ones, but the big pine bark nuggets. This will protect your rose from the heat, but it'll also protect your rose from the cold. You want that at about 3 inches deep all around your bed. Now, remember the garden hose? So the last thing you'll do for your rose bed is you'll put down an irrigation hose. You want to locate that hose all along the roses. So by each rose, you are going to use those stakes again and stake that irrigation hose near the base of each of your roses. That irrigation hose will then plug into your garden hose. That's why it's so important that they are close together. Congratulations, you've done it. Your first rose garden is now planted. See, it's not that difficult to have a beautiful rose garden. You just have to know where to create your garden, how to plant your roses, and then how to protect them from the elements. You know, John Keats once famously said, "A thing of beauty is a joy forever." And I think for my rose garden here, that's certainly very true. Thank you.